Hi Sagittarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. Let's get into your general messages for the 16th to the 22nd. So I'm getting a very interesting feeling with you guys. I feel like we're going to be getting very, very different messages between relationship and career / money. There's like very different energies happening in these areas of your life. So let's see what comes up. I'm going to start with the general lay of the land, some oracles, and I'll sweep that. Throw down some cards for general reading, applying it to all parts of life. Then I'll do a separate relationship reading. Then I'll pull extra cards at the end for those of you in separation. Everything will be time-stamped in the description box below. Okay? Yeah, so starting out on the 16th, we do have Venus going into Libra. I mentioned that in the extended relationship read that I did last week for August. If you didn't check that out, basically Venus loves being in Libra. It's all about relationship, right? All about relationship. But we're going to be very hyper sensitive to things being done the right way, and the idea of fairness in relationship. But at the same time, we're really not going to want to deal with any sort of confrontation. We just want to feel good in this energy, feel good. So you just want to be careful that you're not acquiescing to anyone's suggestions, requests, demands, anything like that. That in the long run, you're going to be like, why did I say that, And then you end up silently resenting saying yes to something, right? Because it's going to be all about balance. You want to make sure that you're seeking balance. So don't agree to anything unless you feel really comfortable with it. But it is a beautiful energy to work out stuff in relationship. It is. It's nice. Now, you have Venus in Libra in your 11th house right now. So that's all about groups, friends, hopes and wishes in the future, really about more like your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan kind of thing. And we're talking about that with Venus in there. Venus is not only about romance. It could be about romance, right? Maybe meeting somebody at work, or it could be really loving what you're doing, right? Just feeling very connected to your friends. But it could also, Venus is also a money energy as well. So some of you may be in that space of feeling very focused on being able to get into some sort of creative situation. I say creative because it's across the wheel from the 5th house, which is that Leo energy. Chiron is retrograde in your 5th house, which is the energy all about creativity, falling in love, love affairs, romance, being able to grow something. So the 5th house, so basically the Venus and Libra energy is sort of working with Chiron retrograde in Aries, right? So those two are working together, and I just feel like whatever's going on, wherever you're pushing yourself for the next 5-10 year plan kind of thing, beautiful energy to be figuring things out, to be healing things, having really important conversations. We're going to talk about communication is going to be a thing for you right now, but really important conversations. Let's just deal with that right now for the moment. So I do like that because I feel like for a lot of you, that 5th house Chiron retrograde in Aries, lots of healing going on with your children, the idea of children, romance, falling in love, love affairs, creative projects, anything like that. So good until December 28th. But I also want to mention on that point, we have Jupiter is going to be forming a semi-square to Chiron, this energy that we're talking about, on the 18th. And so whereas Jupiter happens to be in that 3rd house, right? 3rd house has to do with your mind, thinking, communication, siblings, extended family, like cousins, aunts, right? Your neighborhood, your neighbors, learning something new from the bottom up, that kind of thing, okay? So that's where Jupiter is going to be. That's also where the full moon is going to be. We'll talk about the full moon on the 22nd in a moment, but Jupiter is going to be in there, and it's going to be sitting in a semi-square to this healing Chiron energy. 3rd house, 5th house, communication and romance, falling in love, love affairs, communication, creative projects, communication, and your children, right? Could be communication with extended family members in some sort of creative project, right? So this is the energy that we're looking at right now, okay? And because it's a semi-square, there can be some tension, but it's because you're hungry for meaning and understanding. So it can be kind of tricky at this point. Just keep in mind, this is a minor aspect. It's subtle, but it's worth mentioning, because you might be feeling this like difficulty in aligning yourself with an exact personal philosophy or belief system that honestly reflects the core of what you want in that creative project, how you want it to roll out, what you're feeling in that romantic endeavor, something to do with your kids as well. And it's very easy to be led astray by beliefs and ideas right now. So you really want to think about or where you might be feeling some sort of crisis of faith, right? And really look at that. So it's important to look within to figure something out here if you're confused about something, rather than blindly following something that doesn't really serve your purpose, right? And again, how the energies are connected with that Venus and Libra energy, we might be like, oh, let me just let it go. Let me just go. And sometimes it's okay, but you really just need to be honest with yourself. Are you really okay with letting that idea go? Are you really okay with how an offer that's being presented to you, right? You just don't want to blindly follow something. Right? You could agree to it as long as you're like looking at it, right? So any endeavor, especially any new endeavors, might require a closer look before pushing forward. So just wanted to mention that because Chiron retrograde is great, but because it's in the semi-square with Jupiter in your third, that emotion that I just mentioned might be a thing, right? So just, to be forewarned, just to be forearmed. So let's get into the cards and then we'll address more of the astrology as we go along. We have Loyal Heart. In the world, not of the world. Ah, love it. In the world, not of the world. Take the lead and dreams. Okay. So, loyal heart. Loyal heart is being loyal to anything, any project, any situation, relationship, creative project, job, family situation, whatever it is. What does a loyal heart mean? Not judgment. There's no judgment there. And it's having the wherewithal to work through a situation, recognizing that nothing is perfect. That's a loyal heart. It's recognizing that everything has fractures, everything has fissures, right? It's a matter of going through that and being very loyal. If it's not to a person, it's to a project, it's to a situation, something like that. And we have in the world, not of the world. When we're in the world, we're working with people, and what an appropriate energy to get, considering that we have this Aquarius full moon in your third house of communicating with other people. So it's this energy. Let me explain what's going to be going on with this full moon, first of all. Very interesting full moon also. I keep using the word interesting, but it is to me because it's so late in Aquarius. It's at 29 degrees and 37 minutes. Guys, it's almost in Pisces. It's like a spit away from Pisces. It really, really is. So what does that mean? We still have to read it, though, as an Aquarius full moon, even though it's so late. That Aquarius full moon is very much a we-based energy. The Aquarius full moons value independence, right? But also recognizes other and the need for other. Whereas that Sun and Leo energy in your ninth house, which is your home, you're in there, right? And so this is kind of lighting up your home, Sag, right? And that Leo energy in your home is more of a me-based energy, focused on self, what you like to do, the way you think things should be, right? So this new moon is going to highlight the tension between me and what I like and what I believe and what I want to do, and we and what we need, and the need for other people, and the need for opening up your mind and recognizing that you have to work with situations and people. Even if it doesn't completely align with your personal philosophy, it could still have a lot of value, okay? And in this energy, we're all going to be feeling like these proclamations and these outpouring of epiphanies that seem fresh and new in the moment, but really these feelings or light bulb realizations have likely been hanging out in the ethers of our mind for quite a while that just aren't yet rationalized. So it's a time of awakening, like kind of waking up to the fact, Sag, that you need others in order to progress your whatever it is that you want to push forward in your life. You need others, but you need others in a way where you're really paying attention to their needs and what they're saying. I'm not saying that you don't, but there's going to be this new perspective that needs to be adopted in this particular part of your chart. Now, this is going to be affecting all of us, but especially those of us born with personal planets and points at around 26 to 30 degrees of the fixed signs. So if you know your other placements, the fixed are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. So that might be one of those, might be a rising sign, your moon sign, your Venus sign, okay, anything like that. or 0 to 4 degrees at the mutables. And you're immutable, so is Gemini, so is Virgo, so is Pisces. So these energies are going to be feeling it the most significantly, right? So it is that kind of energy. But this full moon, we pushed into this full moon after that Leo new moon, after your new moon, conjunct Lionsgate, with this very interesting connection to Uranus, which is, Uranus is all about shaking things up. It's the great awakener. It's all about change. And Uranus shakes things up in order to wake us up, right? And Uranus is in your 6th house of day-to-day work experience, your day-to-day experience. A lot of you guys are just like, wow, I need to look at things differently in my life, in my job, in my work, in this project, how I show up as service to others, how you take care of yourself, even because 6th house is health, mental, physical, and emotional. It's something to do with your pets, whatever it is, right? That Uranus energy is in there, but it is retrograde, which is going to be pushing us all to kind of go within and figure out where you may be holding yourself back from living more spontaneously and authentically in that space of your health, of your day-to-day work environment. And it's figuring it out. But the thing is, this week, as Uranus goes retrograde in this energy, don't be surprised if you're experiencing some tension until you acclimate to the directional change in that 6th house. Of, if it doesn't have to do with your health, it has to do with your day-to-day work environment. Something maybe you thought was going to be going in a particular way, it ends up going in another way, kind of last minute. You're like, all right, it doesn't mean that it's bad, guys, and not at all. It just means that you're going to just sort of have to reprogram or readjust your lens to the experience that you're going to be having in that energy, right? But it is that great awakener, and this energy is going to be really raising your consciousness, right? Because Uranus is also connected to third eye openings. That's his gift. So if you don't know what that is, it's okay. It's about raising your consciousness, right? Especially in areas, Sag, where you might have a blind spot. Right? Blind spot, literally, like maybe you think something is a certain way in that relationship, in that project, in that family situation, whatever it is. But those blind spots can feel more noticeable now. So you really want to ask yourself, where can you view any uncertainty that you're feeling in your life right now as an open field of possibility to help grow yourself into the life that's actually meant for you? You know, it might be so much better than what you've been thinking up to this point, because something's happening right now in your life that's really, really fated. The fates, dream a beautiful dream, refine your attention. So again, you know, having this is in the world and not of the world. You know, and when we say of the world, somebody who's of the world kind of seems like they know everything. You know, I don't really have a lot to know. No, you're wrong. No, I know how this is supposed to be, kind of thing. And you really want to pull yourself back if you can feel the tendency of falling into that space, because something really faded and something really beautiful is happening right now in your life, but you need to refine your attention. And what I mean by that is get more focused, understand you're working with other people, recognize, that's not to say that every single one of your ideas is not on point. It's not to say that, but it's recognizing the need for other people. I'm sorry about the lawnmower outside. This is bizarre. It's 7 o'clock in the morning by me. I like to do my readings early to avoid that stuff, but I guess not. Now we have refining your attentions, but it's based on rejection. So something didn't work out. You need to go back to the drawing board and figure out a different way of approaching something. Doesn't mean this is bad. Not at all. I don't want you to look at it as a glass half empty. This is glass half full. Use it as a learning experience. Look at what in your life is not. Do you feel like you're experiencing rejection? What, you know, and how could you look at it differently? How could you level yourself up? Flexible. The need to be flexible. Collaborative dreaming is all about, again, needing other people. Sagittarius, I'm getting so many energies here that require one in each row that indicates other people, other people, other people. But when we collaborate, right, you want to think about like that 3 of Pentacle energy, right? It's in order to collaborate, you have to come together. There's got to be a lot of communication, recognizing what other people need in addition to yours. It doesn't mean sacrificing what you want. It means having really, really good communication. And again, because the full moon moon is happening in your third house. That's also got that Saturn, also has Jupiter in there. There's going to be a lot of communication. And what I also like actually is that the sun is going to be popping into Virgo actually later in the day. This is another interesting thing that I think about this this full moon, is that later in the day, on that 22nd, the sun is going to be entering into Virgo, which is your 11th house, which is your 10th house rather. So, and that has to do with your career and long-term goals. And in that Virgo energy, that's the energy where we're going to be really focusing more on the details of your life. Great energy to get organized, improve communication in a project, anything like that. Could even be improving communication, even in your marriage, okay? But again, collaborative dreaming, reassessing something, and take off your mask. So really this is about, okay, I thought something was going one way, it's not. Let me stop, drop, reassess, figure out where, where's the tension being felt. Let me walk towards that and try to turn that tension with that uncertainty into an opportunity and an opportunity to learn and grow. That's what it's about. Right? Regardless of whatever area it's in. I did mention the houses that it's hitting you in, but this reading is for the archetype of Sagittarius, primarily focused on Sagittarius risings. That doesn't mean the Sun, Moon, and Venus aren't going to be feeling these energies as well, but when we talk about house placements, this is placing that Sagittarius energy in that first house, okay? Don't be confused if you don't know the houses. It would still impact you, okay? Without getting too complicated in the astrology, to just understand that. But the reason I'm saying that is because, let's say you're a Sagittarius sun, but you're, a Gemini rising or a Capricorn rising, you'd be feeling it the way I'm saying, but other ways additionally as well, according to your rising sign. I hope that makes sense. I keep saying I need to do a separate video on the houses so that you guys understand it and everybody understands how to find their house placements. Really, you could just go on any free birth chart calculator online. Just Google free birth chart calculator. You just have to know your exact time of birth. That's the tricky part. To know your exact house placements. You could still get a lot of information if you do the default of the 12 p.m., 12 a.m., whatever they do, but you can't trust the house placements. They're probably incorrect, okay? So let's see what general messages we get. So some sort of new project, new relationship, something new. We have Page of Pentacles starting it out. So something new or new beginning, dealing with new people. Okay. All right. So this first line here. So clarifying this Page of Pentacles, which could indicate talent shining. This could indicate money news coming in. This could indicate progress and a very auspicious beginning regarding money, finance, some sort of offer made on a property, a mental, physical, or emotional connection, maybe meeting a new group of people, could definitely be happening with that Venus and Libra energy in your 11th. You certainly could be having that experience. This is an energy of hard work, being very reliable, a lot of potential for success. So some of you might be, again, starting this new job. Obviously, that would be improving your money, a new project, meeting a new connection, something like that. But that's being clarified by the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles can be an energy of greed. While you're in a space of wanting to make the most out of what it is that you bring to the table, totally understandable. You're like showing up with bells and whistles on. You may be dealing with an energy, though, that is a little greedy and how greed can wear many hats, right? Could have to do with money. I would say somebody can be funny with money in the King of Pentacles, where, the money is just... The King of Pentacles doesn't have any patience for anyone looking to take what he considers to be his. So this could be an energy where somebody is not being very generous with maybe a percentage, a salary, a payout, something like that. Or it could be somebody who can be very open and giving with money, but they're not willing to work with you as far as adjusting to what it is that you want, need, and desire in a situation. right? It's like, nope, this is how it's going to be. That kind of thing. And that could be a little confusing for you, because clarifying that, we have the Seven of Cups, which is about choices and confusion, feeling extreme, right? Because it's a cup energy, commitment issues, not being sure, and you're not sure what's real, what's not. In your mind, things are going to feel very up in the air in that relationship, in that business situation, in that family situation, whatever it is. But you feel like you're at the beginning stages of something new. So I feel like there's definitely like the beginning stages of a new project, something new. But there's something going on with this situation where you feel like you're at cross purposes with yourself. This is an emotional stalemate. There's some Moon in Libra, right? Moon is, I feel, Libra, right, is fairness. It's the scales. Is this fair? Is this not, right? But you need to sit and think, because, right, this emotional stalemate needs to be decided. You want to protect yourself on the one hand, but whatever's going on, the situation is not going away. So you're really better off resolving it now, standing your ground, say what you think, right? Because definitely a decision is made, it needs to be made about the future. So I'm getting a very heavy sort of negotiating sort of vibe here. I really am. Now, and I feel like it's going to go in your favor, though, Sagittarius, honestly, because in the 7th house of contracts, relationships, marriage, business partnerships, it's all 7th house. Your interpersonal style, you have the North Node in Gemini. And the North Node in Gemini is just bringing us gifts this year. So I feel like something very positive is going to come out. And it's, you know, it's also sextiling the 9th house, which is all about that negotiation, that Leo energy. So if you're negotiating, Leo's and can be indicative of like a relationship, belief system in a relationship, how something should be, belief system in how something should be rolled out, having to do with negotiating a business contract, particularly anything that's creative in nature. So that's what we're seeing there. Absolutely. Then we have the Hierophant energy. So Hierophant can have to do with marriage, but it's also expectation and expectations and conforming to something. So apply that wherever that would, you know, be relevant in your life. But keep in mind that in numerology, the Hierophant energy is the Temperance card. And what does the Temperance card mean? Cooperation, moderation, reconciling something so that something could be healed and leveled up. So if things have been a little wonky and there needs to be a little bit of healing in a situation, it's addressed. If this has to do with career or money, you might be dealing with challenging personalities at work. Either they're too aggressive, they're too sensitive, could depend on how the moon is hanging in the sky. There might be a little bit of both, right? But a lot of patience and cooperation is going to go a long, long way, right? Long, long way. So clarifying that, though, we have the beautiful Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so definitely this sort of like what's expected, how are we going to do this together, because look what showed up. The Mars and Capricorn, Three of Pentacle energy, which I mentioned before, right? I mean, this is about collaborating, and there being successes. This is a successful collaboration. Allowing your talents to shine. This is a very successful launch. This is home improvements. This is the buying of a home, the selling of a home. Maybe some of you are doing a couple of those things at once. I mean, this is the kind of energy, though, that could easily kick up jealous reactions of people around you. So just be careful of that. We say detractors can only make you stronger. Don't let anybody's like nonsense get in your way. But what I feel like is there is this conversation about expectations, conforming, so that something can grow, but it's definitely going to be stressful. I'm not even going to lie. We have the Ten of Wands, but I'm not mad at this. It looks like it's just necessary. Remember, the Ten of Wands is still a minor arcana, and because it's between the Three of Pentacles and the Star, I just feel like there's this necessary tension because of a lot of responsibilities and burden and an overload of demands in a short period of time. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, some of you may even be in this space where it's like you're working on things in your life and you might be ignoring your relationship. So you just want to just be careful of that. Okay, minor arcana, not a big thing. But if you feel like because of other things going on in your life, you're like forgetting to be a good partner, just want to be a little careful there. But we have clarifying this, whatever stress you're going through, the Ten of Wands, the thing is this: I can't do this anymore. I can't hold this. I need to put these down, right? But I feel like this is the kind of energy that I'm getting. It's like, share the burden, Sag. Share the burden where you can. Because whatever's happening, this is so, so positive. First of all, this is a money luck card. So work you do begins to pay off. You're figuring out long-term goals. You're prioritizing. You got all these things going on. Some of you might be guided to start a new business, or you're starting a new project, or you're realizing you're like, hey, I'm really good at A, B, and C. I'm going to put it to good use, you know, something like that. Very inspired sort of energy for sure. If this has to do with relationship, you're destined to be with somebody. You're destined to be within a connection. This could even be like a destiny-driven, like suddenly you meet the group of people that are helping you on some sort of project within your career, within your education, helping you out, having to do with like a family situation, where it's like this group of people enter your life and you're like, wow, like it's very sort of a karmically driven, very destiny driven, and you're meant to be with these people in your life. Obviously, this can also apply to an intimate partner as well. And if you're single, this does indicate it's time to find somebody that you connect with on a soul level. This is about, besides inspiration, this is about a change for the better after what has seemed to be a difficult time. So really nice. And we have the Justice energy. So Justice, yeah, beautiful. I mean, this is the 7th house energy, which is where you have the North Node sitting right now. This is where the gifts are hitting, right? It has to do with relationships, marriage, contracts, business partnerships, and your interpersonal style and your ability to share. And the idea of sharing is going to be highlighted here. So if this has to do with relationship, balance and fairness are going to be very important to look at right now, right? Because Venus is the ruler of this energy, and Venus really focuses on that. You want to make sure that you're comfortable with things, your emotional needs are being met in that relationship, in that business connection, whatever it is. It doesn't mean that you totally get your way or you acquiesce 100% to what somebody else needs. It's not that. It's about finding balance, right? Justice is the scales, especially if it has anything to do with I don't know if you've been feeling this element of like lack of fairness. If this has anything to do with like career or money, you might even be feeling right now or experiencing right now some sort of challenging situation where you almost feel like it's a test. And this energy means that things are going to go well and in your favor. Any kind of negotiation, any kind of interview, any kind of situation where you have to sit down and figure things out together, either as a team, as a couple, as a group, like as a think tank kind of thing. It's going to go well. This meeting of the minds is going to happen. If money's been an issue, things are set to improve. Any kind of legal issue, right? Because the Justice energy, Libra 7th house, that has to do with the lower courts as well. So anything where you have to do like signing papers for maybe a property, a business, a project, anything like that, things getting signed, progressing nicely, it going in your favor. Now, but clarifying this, we have the 3 of Swords. So what can happen here is Saturn, this is Saturn and Libra energy. So, which is interesting because Justice is a Libra energy and Saturn is about restriction, structure, responsibility. So I'm feeling like there is there's a lot of negotiation going on here, because the thing with the 3 of Wands, yeah, we call it the card of pain, but we always have to put it in context with the cards around it, right? The lights are coming on here. Confusion is gone. Confusion is gone. So what's being discussed here? Where something has felt out of sync, the pain of a truth. Is somebody feeling betrayed? Are you dealing with some sort of depression or disappointment? This energy is all about facing the reality of a situation. The confusion's going to be gone. You're going to be in a position where you're going to be able to move on from whatever you felt like wasn't working and push it in a more positive direction. And because clarifying that, we have the beautiful Ace of Swords. I mean, come on now. This is auspicious for everything. New beginnings, decisions, clear thinking. In work, in love, any area of your life, there's an immediate change to your circumstances for the better. And this is because it's a sword energy and sword is air, there's a lot of mental agility with this and assertiveness. So being mentally agile, being mentally flexible and assertive, not aggressive, not overzealous is the way to go here. Really nice. Just in general, this is sort of getting over past obstacles and getting what you want. in that relationship, business situation, family situation, whatever it is. And we have clarifying that, the Queen of Wands, which is you stepping into your power. Really, really nice. This is such a good energy for ideas, problem solving, communication. This is a very self-aware, very social energy, being focused on the right things in a situation or in a relationship. But I like this because this is all about, okay, this is the kind of energy where it's like we sit down and we go, all right, how are we going to make this happen? How are we going to make this happen? We got to get together. Let's figure it out. And you're almost kind of going to be at the helm of that. Not that you're going to be dictating everything, but again, you're going to be in the space where you're going to be realizing, okay, we need to work with this situation together. I can't express enough, Sagittarius, how I'm getting, for whoever's resonating with this idea of other. If it's not a relationship, it's other in a business situation kind of thing, right? But figuring out, negotiating, and what's fair, what makes sense. Okay. Oh, thank you, person outside, for shutting off that lawnmower. So annoying. I like peace. I like peace when I'm doing my readings. The lawnmower going outside. My cat's crying outside my door. If I let her in, she'll be in the middle of the table in a second. That's why I have to keep her outside. It's very funny. When I'm not doing readings, I have a felt blanket that I put over my cards and my stones and everything, just to protect the energy. And she likes to come up and just sit on the felt, on the cards. I consider her very benefic for me, so I don't have a problem with that, but I can't work like that, right? All right. So let's go into relationships. And again, like I said before, I want to pull some energies at the end for those of you who may be in separation. Okay. So some of you may have been in a space in the past where there was a reconnection with somebody from the past. Some of you, it's the wheel. That could be it. Right? So others of you were just, because in numerology, this is also the Magician and the Sun, having really deep conversation and communication about what's necessary to make your relationship deeper, more expansive. But it was this recognition that whatever happened, whatever was going on leading into this energy, it was a turning point. It's either we're either going to do it or we're not going to do it. And this is a very faded energy that incites change, right? So for some of you, yeah, there might have been a revisit with somebody from the past. If you felt like the bones of it were good, maybe you got back with somebody. Maybe this is you just being very caught up in the past, right? It could certainly be that. But the wheel is a Jupiter energy, you know, it's Jupiter. And so Jupiter rules that energy, you know, your energy, that ninth house energy. And so it's like this looking at belief systems and how could we have a meeting of the minds and come together and move into the future, right? So then we have, some of you may have decided to get married. Some of you may have decided to focus more actively on your marriage, because the Hierophant is a marriage energy, or at least commit a partnership and focusing on and celebrating the sacred in your relationship. Sag, and I feel like that's very much where a lot of you are where you're at right now. And the thing is, because this is also temperance in numerology, it's not happening on its own. It's happening by tempering, by moderation, by cooperation, by reconciling issues that maybe were an issue that were getting in the way, and now there being this new level of trust so that you guys are able to move past what was at one point perhaps a challenging time period. So this is a very nice energy. Some of you may be connecting with somebody from the past where you just feel this unbelievable energetic and spiritual connection for, and it could be where you're at right now. But let's see, what is your challenge right now is this Five of Cups energy. And the Five of Cups energy is this energy of loss and leaving and sadness, because something ends before you feel ready for it. Right? You're going to be able to deal with it and move on and assimilate whatever stress you're feeling, to make a new start. But this is that Mars and Scorpio energy. It's that warrior energy in Scorpio, which is the energy of change. And this can be a challenge for you right now, right? You know, for some of you, you're just in this space, though, of you want to just move on. You want to feel really hopeful about things. You want to forgive. You want to just let things go. But there might be some sort of block, some sort of challenge. And the way this can show up a lot of times in relationship is having a very hard time letting go of past issues that happen in the relationship. I see the attempt at reconciling things, but we're human beings. We're not robots. Right? So that you might be having a hard time getting past something that you felt betrayed by in the situation, or that you didn't trust, something like that. And the Eight of Coins, this is about you trying to master something, right? Focusing on responsibility of the relationship in a really diligent way, in a very focused way, and being very logical and diligent in your approach to relationship. Very like what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. Let me think about things clearly, you know, as we sort of navigate the waters of this relationship. So the current situation is trying to figure out a different way, or a better strategy for moving forward, having to do with this relationship. And this is literally stepping back for perspective. So some of you might be talking with a therapist about this. Maybe some of you are doing some shadow work just to figure out a better strategy in handling a situation or moving forward, having to do with something in relationship. Okay. As I do feel an element of disappointment, but there's a lot of emotion and desire to work something out. It's a very interesting feeling I'm getting. So we have the King of Wands as the suggested approach. So the King of Wands it is very much a free spirit energy, but in astrology, it's Cancer and Leo. So Cancer is about what do we need to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. It does represent the home, does represent living together and all of that. And Leo is that energy of romance, falling in love, creativity, children, all of that, right? So these things are definitely like this energy is being discussed at the very least, right? And you wanting to express your ideas and going after what you want, but you have to ask yourself and pay attention. Is what you want? Are you going after something that may be too idealistic? Because you don't want to allow the idea of perfectionism to get in the way here. You don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect. The situation doesn't have to be perfect in order to be amazing. You bring everything you need to the table, so do they. Like, it's just, that should not be a thing. The fact that it's coming up as the recommended approach, it's telling me, look at the situation. Don't allow something needing to be perfect to get in the way. We have the Justice energy is the energy that's surrounding you. So this is external or other. So you may be dealing with a Libra. You may be dealing with, obviously, a marriage partner, right? Because this is the 7th house of marriage and just relationships. Somebody might be wanting to get married, but you may be dealing with somebody who is very focused on what's fair and not fair, paying attention to their emotional needs. You may be paying a very close attention to your emotional needs, because that could be the energy that's external to you, like surrounding you. But chances are, Sage, you might be dealing with somebody who's like, all right, whatever we're getting into, we have to be balanced and fair. Now, the thing is their definition of balanced and fair the same as yours? And that's where some conversation might need to take place, right? Where you might need to have that meeting of the minds. But there is a meeting of the minds, it does seem like. But what is your block? Your block is the World Reverse. So when we have the World Reverse, World Reverse, the World is the most positive card in the deck, I think, hands down, because it's a Saturn card. And it's like a Saturn completed card. So nobody brings bigger gifts than Saturn when he's finished with us, right? But this is about, in numerology, this is the Empress energy, and which is all about growth and expansion. But that's a challenge for you right now. It's like you're ready to move on, but you feel blocked, or you feel undeserving of something within this relationship or something like that. But this could also show you holding on to something that in your mind may need to shift. So you may need to adjust accordingly, as you might be holding on to something regarding this relationship at the exclusion of all else, right? You just have to know that whatever's happening here, whatever challenges and block you're feeling, it's minor, because it's minor. Even though this is a major arcana, the world and the sun, even when they're reversed, is still completely positive. It just may take some time to manifest what it is that you want and to release this block and work through it. Just keep the faith. It just means working through something here. As we have the Eight of Swords in the near future, so you may be in a space where you're going into a mindset of feeling trapped, feeling things are never going to improve. That creates anxiety. Like one of the worst things, right, is being in something that you know doesn't feel right, and then feeling like it's never going to change. And then it's like, how do I get out of this, right? So you're going to need a lot of determination. If you're feeling like because you may feel like you don't belong in a situation anymore. And you're going to need a lot of determination to pull yourself out of it, even if it means swallowing your pride, even if it means being uncomfortable. Because feeling restricted, feeling limited, feeling trapped, you can't live like that. You can't. It's a minor arcana. And the outcome is the Two of Cups. So it does seem like this is going to be, I feel like there's going to be resolve and harmony is going to return after a really important conversation. Just a really important conversation, because that's what needs to happen here. This is harmony returning, nurturing energy. There just is. Again, Chiron retrograde in that 5th house of romance, North Node, that 7th house, gift. And even in that Cancer energy in the 8th, a lot of you may be feeling with Cancer sitting in your 8th house, when it comes in relationship, when it comes to you merging in the relationship with your partner, and in all the ways. How do we merge? We merge, obviously, sex and intimacy, shared finances, shared values, the way we communicate, what matters to you, what matters to them, merging, right? Merging of property, merging of assets, all that stuff. With Cancer sitting in there, you can be feeling this kind of like, I don't know if this is worth it. I feel like you might even be feeling some sort of disappointment, some sort of like emotion, confusion. You might be feeling like, I don't know, is this even like worth it? I'm just not sure. You could be feeling that. And if you are, just kind of like lean into that, sit with it, and recognize that underneath that, what's really going on is this question of, is this like where I'm supposed to be? Is this my metaphorical home space? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I going to feel grounded, safe, and secure in this if I merge in the way that this person is asking me to, right? Merging completely is not easy for the Sagittarius archetype. Again, I don't know you, and I don't know what else is in your chart, but Sagittarius Gemini, that axis is a very independent axis. Loves its freedom, loves travel, loves talking and learning and being kind of floating around life, right? And with, your moral code, your philosophy, you guys are wicked smart, you're great communicators, you love to travel. So if somebody is like presenting a situation in relationship where you feel stifled, or you feel like there's not going to be that room to grow and be who it is that you are, it's going to be really difficult, right, to feel comfortable in that. So nothing, though, that a good heart-to-heart can't fix, because it does seem like somebody wants to work something out with you. It does seem like that. All right, my friends, that's what I have for this spread of relationship. Now let's pull some energies for those of you who might be in separation. We'll pull a few and then we'll talk. It looks like there was a lack of communication in this connection. Let me tell you. Lack of communication. Now, by the way, these energies that I'm going to read here, this could be them towards you, you towards them, or you guys towards each other. Most of you know that, having to do with tarot. You know, when you're doing relationship reads, the energies get very enmeshed, so it could always be vice versa. So it's better to just sit back and holistically listen to the energy that's happening right within the connection and apply it, however. So being apart has been more difficult than I can accept. Being clarified by talking. Awaited message arrives, text, call, email. You show me a stability and security I have never known. So somebody does not want to be apart. I wish I could take back the hurtful things I said. It was wrong to take out my frustrations on you. And then we have Dragonfly. Be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light. Adapt, change, and heal. I need more time to figure things out, but I don't want to lose you. Okay, so somebody's thinking things through. My memories of you haunt me and keep me thinking about what could have been. Coffee cup, meeting up and conversing, feeling uplifted, friendship. I know I didn't handle things the right way, but I don't know how to fix it. When times got tough, I gave up on you too soon. Keys on a ring. Many options, decision. Unconventional string along one night stand. So, oh my goodness. And then we have, I messed up big time. Okay, somebody do something a little silly. Okay. I don't need clarification on those, but this last one. When times got tough, I gave up on you too soon. Keys on a ring. And then I messed up big time. What happened here? Queen of Swords. Page of Pentacles. Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups. Okay, so Queen of Swords is all about the truth, right? Motivated to find out the truth, psychological motivation. So Virgo and Libra, right? Something happened. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles indicates like a new beginning. So there was this Page of Pentacles, this Queen of Swords, right? The truth of meeting somebody new. Ten of Cups. Wanting contentment, wanting security, wanting to feel grounded, wanting to feel that sense, but feeling this level of sadness and disappointment. It does seem like there was a situation here where you guys maybe were focused on moving in together, getting married, building your family, just living life together, whatever it is, right? And then all of a sudden something ended before either you felt ready or they felt ready for it. And we have the Three of Wands energy, which is somebody turned their back on the past. I mean, it's a good fortune and it's a good energy card, it is, but it's about moving on, right? With somebody different, unconventional, right? In an unconventional situation. But then having this, the Queen of Cups energy, Gemini and Cancer, this is about falling in love, deepening of love, emotional honesty, but figuring out what's needed to make something work, to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. Really sitting and having that conversation. And we have the Two of Wands, making plans, moving forward, partnership. This does indicate a new romantic partnership. But the new romantic partnership is more like, I have your back, you have mine, just sort of like an energy almost of like a, dare I say, like a convenience kind of thing, right? And we have the Queen of this is Pisces and Aries energy, but it's Queen of Wands, which is this energy of stepping into power to try to sort of like understanding what's necessary to make a relationship happen and energize the relationship. And then we have the Magician energy, which is a very alchemical energy. It's Mercury, so it's Gemini and Virgo. It's having conversation to solve some problems here. But what's being discussed, right? It does seem like somebody sort of went and tried to meet somebody. Maybe they even got into a relationship, but they're recognizing that that they still, that there's unfinished business with you, right? But then there's this recognition here, this Five of Swords, where what the life that they want and the reality that you guys were living, there was confliction there, and that tension just wasn't going away. You felt like you couldn't change them, they felt like they couldn't change you, you know, and maybe change is, I'm certain, the wrong word, but it's like somebody was not making adjustments, right? And then there was this decision to sort of work on yourself, try to master the situation, figure things out. Because when we have that Eight of Pentacles, 8 is about mastery. It's about focusing on doing the right thing, starting from sense of self though first, and then sort of, you know, allowing it to benefit the relationship, having to do with expectations and the needing to conform to something. So it does seem like things got too close, things got too stagnant, things got too restricted. Things started to feel a little too trapped, and there needed to be this need to break away. Is Sag, I feel like a lot of you maybe felt like your partner was not growing with you. And if they were growing with you, they were growing like at the same rate as you, maybe they were growing in a different direction. So it does seem like that, even though there were a lot of emotions here. It does seem like at least their energy, their sights were focused on going in another direction. But it doesn't seem like they really wanted to do that. We have the King of Swords now. It's about just going totally logical, using logic without emotions here in order to address the situation. And Queen of Pentacles is about taking care of your body, your mind, your soul, your finances, taking care of you, taking care of you. But let me just pull if this has to do it. Okay. Because I do feel like there is this desire for some of you to work on a marriage, get married, have a baby, grow something, do something like that. But there's more of a practical element involved in this. And I feel like there's this energy that's questioning, because it's the Two of Swords, I feel like, is you. So you're an emotional stalemate. You need to make a decision. You want to protect yourself, but the situation's not going away. You know, it just seems like there's a lack of communication where something felt, there's a lot of love, but something started to feel too small, too restricted, too controlling, too just not in alignment with beliefs, with the belief systems here. And there had to be this breaking away, but there's still this resolve to want to come back and fix things. But what needs to be fixed, it's like this understanding that you can't control them, they can't control you. So you're in this emotional stalemate. And there's this need for balance. It seems like balance is the answer here. So, you know, if you guys are in separation, there is a lot of value left in this relationship. Healthy communication, recognizing where there might be this feeling of micromanaging, of trying to change, of not accepting the other person for who they are. You know, it needs to be looked at. You might realize, like, look, this person's just not for me anymore. Others of you will be like, all right, you know what? They're actually pretty amazing. They're not perfect, neither am I. And, you know, let's figure this out. So, but whatever it is, it's going to require balance. Somebody's going to need their ego stroked, especially after this difficult time period. But there's going to be some ego stroking is necessary with the strength energy, for sure. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.